everyone. This is Chris Nixon with IoT Monitor and the IoT Pulse Podcast show series. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We're really excited to, one, Kirill, co-host. Hi, Kirill. Good
Hey,
to see
guys.
you again. Also
Good to
with
see you,
IoT.
Chris.
And really excited to introduce Rob, VP of Sales at one of our partners and Stone's partners at Stone Security. How's it going, Rob?
Hey, everybody. It's going great. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks for letting me join you guys today.
Yeah, no, we're excited. I know we've been a Stone partner over the course of the past year, and got to attend your Techtober and some of your cool events. So we're really excited about the partnership, but also excited to be here today. So, if nothing else, why don't we kick it off? So while we were at Techtober, I know you had a presentation, and maybe we run through part of it today. I know we're just going to have a somewhat informal conversation, but about your mobilesecurity.net and the trailers. So maybe I'll just leave it open-ended like that and let you kind of run with that. But I know I was super interested while I was there in terms of what you were saying and sharing and some of the cool stories you've got. So let's go there. Let's start there.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great place to start. That's the mobile security solution is near and dear to my heart. It's something that I've been working on. I mean, we have a team behind it. We have some amazing talent on the team. But it's something that I've been passionate about for many years. There's plenty of solutions out on the market, and it's all the buzz right now for a few reasons. And, one of them is the ability to, you don't have to worry about power. You don't have to worry about data. You don't have to worry as much about the cyber side of things because we're not connecting to a production network in most cases. I'll talk a little bit about that. There are some unique cases where we have clients that are running Milestone as on their production system. So they might have hundreds, even many thousands of cameras running Milestone on Milestone, they're running on the Milestone platform that's on-prem. But then there have areas that they just don't get good coverage or it's cost prohibitive. You don't have power. So how much is it going to cost you to get power out there? You can do solar. The cameras are really efficient now. We have PTZs from Axis that run 10 watts, so that's amazing. And these are high end, this is their Q series, they're high end PTZs that have a lot of good analytics, great optics, great low light capabilities. So we can do a solar kit on a pole, and that's fine and dandy with a wireless bridge or whatnot. But as you start to look at it, okay, well, what wireless bridges, are approved to use at that facility? What wireless solution is the team at Stone trained and certified on? Because it might be a specific product that the customer wants that our technicians haven't worked with before. Usually we're good, but not always. And then it does, needs to get vetted. Do we have to do a red hat process or whatnot? So, like with the mobile units, none of that is an issue. We can roll out the trailer fully self-contained. The batteries are on there. The cameras are on there. You can raise the mast all the way up to 30 feet or lower, depending on the field of view you want to get. But we do have uniquely, we have an integration from our mobile security trailer into Milestone. And we're doing that without a server. So the trailers don't have a hardened, which if we did it, we would obviously need a ruggedized or a hardened server. But we've been able to, working with partners and with our many years of experience as an integrator, we've been able to engineer a class leading mobile security solution that does not need a server. It's native device to cloud with some really cool features added to it. The power management, the ability to manage the ports, power cycle, all of the data that the trailer provides, we can remotely have access to. But then again, uniquely, we have full integration back into the Milestone solution if the client wants. But again, most of the time it's completely standalone. It's all browser based, SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. So that's, kind of in a nutshell, that's the trailers. They just make it really simple and easy for our customers to be able to say, hey, I need cameras out here and I need them now. Case in point, and we're going to go out on a limb here. I'll see if I can share this. It is a pretty fun video. we've had a couple of big hurricanes over the last 2 months. Within the last 2 months,
in Florida,
yep, in Florida. So we had Helene, and one of our trailers was out there for it was GSX. So because we had our grand opening in the Florida office. And so the trailer was already out there, and it was over at a lab. It was at Florida University. And so it went through Helene, and we had no issues. And we kept a close eye on it, because you don't really know how bad the hurricane is going to be. That one wasn't too bad, at least where it hit in Gainesville. It wasn't, near 90, 95 mile an hour winds. Trailer handled it no problem. So that was good. Well, subsequently, we had a customer, an end user that called us up when Milton was en route, and they are in Tampa. And they said, they were anticipating the worst, and they knew that they were likely going to lose power. They were likely going to lose data. And what do you have to keep an eye on your facility and provide a sense of deterrence? The trailers are extremely effective at that, at deterrence, proactive deterrence. You still have all the recordings and everything, but to deter to begin with, and then just to be able to keep an eye on things, right? If you have flooding, power out, whatever it is. So we delivered the trailer same day that they asked for it, which is a nice uniqueness, being the fact that we are an integrator. We have the ability to, we have trucks, we have technicians, we're tooled out, and we have offices all over. So we were able to deliver that trailer to Tampa, and that trailer was in a direct hit path of Milton. And let me see if I can share my screen with you guys real quick. This should be it. It's just a real quick video, but seeing is believing. People talk about stuff all the time, but I like to just put my money where my mouth is type deal. Can you guys see it okay? I'll see if I can blow it up.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's a live shot from one of the cameras on our mobile unit. Direct hit. We clocked, because we have employees there in Florida, and our general manager of our Florida office was texting me. Obviously, I was asking him how things are going, because he was right there in the thick of it too. Mm-hmm. And he said, "I've got sustained winds of 116 miles an hour, and here's a shot of that from the camera." And this is, again, on a mobile trailer. So uniquely, we have the windshield wiper on our camera, which is a cool feature. But you just look at the stability. It isn't even moving. If you look really close, you can see it move just a little bit, but it's super impressive. The stability of the trailer, the reliability in this wind level. That is
incredible.
This parking lot that it's in, you can see it has lost power. Mm-hmm. Not too long. I just grabbed a small clip right of the full recordings, but the whole entire facility ends up losing power for a day or two. We were up and running. We were able to provide full coverage. This is a pan tilt zoom, unobstructed, so we can see full 360. We also have overview hemispherical cameras, so we have full situational awareness of everything. But that's so just the ability, when you have a natural disaster or anything like that, the ability that you have to get these mobile units delivered quickly and efficiently where you need them. That's a game changer for people. Events we've had over the recent elections, we've had a bunch of events where security has needed to be bolstered for some of these politicians. And we've been able to deliver the mobile units and have those set up within minutes. It's the eye in the sky. It's easy to give people access because it's cloud managed. And just really effective. And the feedback from all of our customers and clients has been extremely positive, for sure.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's not just cameras you could put on these things, right? There's so many different sensors and use cases that you could cover, from putting these things out there where there's forest fires, for example. And these things could really save lives to a certain degree, right? So
Kirill, I'm glad you said that. We have a few initiatives. We have trailers now going out that have thermography cameras, so they do temperature detection, and naturally, along with the detection piece, alerts. right? So that we're doing that actively today. We provide monitoring on those. So the end customer, if you have your own SOC, I mean, if you're fine just getting a text message or a Teams notification, we have webhooks so we can push the notifications out in a lot of ways that, to cater to the client. But not every customer has a SOC, or, if you don't want to be home in bed at 2 a.m. and then you get a notification, or you're on vacation, right? So you need to kind of staff and plan. There's that administrative piece, or the human capital piece. But so we offer the flexibility. So for fire detection, for sure, we're doing that now at some dump sites, landfills, where you get that combustion. And a lot of times that happens after hours, when those facilities are not staffed. And when those fires take off, they can be bad. If you have oils and things like that, those fires can take months to put out, and be a big expense, not to mention the environmental impact. And so we easily can, using thermography cameras, we use the Axis products because they work really well, device to cloud, they're efficient, they're affordable, they're reliable. And so we've had a lot of success with those, but we were able to, with our central station, we can complement that. So our central station will get the alert first. They'll verify, okay, that is a smoldering, that's a hot spot. Even before it turns into a fire, we can detect that temperature change, and we can set zones and presets as well. So we do a PTZ or a PT, a pan tilt, and we have it hit presets. If any of those spots are getting hot, that sends a trigger either to the customer, or if they want, to our central station. Human verification, yes, indeed, that is a hot spot, and we can call whoever the client wants to be called. Even the fire department directly, because it is visually verified, right? We have eyes on the problem. So that's really effective. Another cool advancement is Starlink. So we've had, because we run on cellular now on an LTE, and our solution is unique because we have the ability to run on all. So utilizing eSIM, we run on all cell carriers. And so when, like that video I showed with the hurricane, we saw cell towers go down during a hurricane. That's going to happen, right? Especially when it's sustained hours of a natural disaster. Cell tower reliability isn't going to be there everywhere all the time. So we were able to hop. So you'd see when a cell tower would go down, you'd have a 15, sometimes 20-second delay, and then it would reconnect to the next strongest signal of an available tower. And so that's a neat technology and a solution that we offer. But through all, going experience, through experience, you start to say, okay, what else can we do? How can we be more efficient? And Starlink is, we now have trailers going out that have Starlink, which is exciting. And it allows us to have much faster speeds, and, higher megapixel cameras as they continue to come out. Uniquely, we record to the edge, so we're not eating up a ton of bandwidth. But if you have a bunch of people hitting the live view and the recordings, and it's a 62 megapixel total aggregation that we have, 62 megapixels of video on some of our trailers, that's a lot of data. And Starlink, is a super cool solution to allow us to provide good, fast speeds and reliability to our clients, which is fun.
That is pretty cool. So on the technical level, do you put the Starlink up on the mast? Is that what you guys do? Wow.
Yeah. Starlink really cool. Up on the mast. And we're still kind of exploring, it's a constant refinement. Every time we have like a new advancement, a new solution that makes it better, then somebody comes. I mean, just last night, and we love this. And I think that's how you can best innovate. You have to be open. So open platform on the technology side is key. I truly believe in that. And that's our model at Stone, is we believe in open platform systems. We don't want to lock anybody into anything proprietary. So that's key, but also being open to customer feedback, being open to do trial projects, pilot projects, and having a natural hunger to do things better. And being nimble too, that's another thing. Like you got to be nimble, quick on your feet. and always, and when you have that type of talent, which we do, I'm very fortunate to work with such great people at Stone and have such great partners like you guys that are willing to say, hey, how can we help solve these challenges and these problems? How can we be more efficient and make a more effective overall solution? And we're constantly innovating, and each trailer that goes out, each solution that goes out, it's better than the last. And then we, constantly gathering that feedback. It's sometimes the answer is no, and it's because we've tried it, and we'll have a client to say, hey, what about this? Well, we tried that, and here's the 2 or 3 reasons why that didn't work out well, but we're never opposed to trying out something, but we do vet things. I mean, you guys know that we've worked with you guys for quite some time to vet out the tech. We ask a ton of questions. We really do put in the reps before we adopt any new tech. We make sure we put it through the paces for sure.
Yeah, no, and we're very happy to be a Stone partner. And by the way, I keep meeting more and more Stone people and just fall in love with you guys. You guys are extremely, extremely knowledgeable in your space, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
The one thing I wanted to ask is, first of all, during I sat on one of your presentations for mobilesecurity.net, and I like what you said about the fact that it being red. Can you just tell our audiences that aspect of why you guys painted it red? Because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt both of you, but maybe Rob, in the vein of seeing is believing, can you pull up a picture or something of one of the trailers? Let's talk about it. We can talk about the red. Yeah.
Let me do a share. Let's do this. I think all right, let's see. So here's our website for mobilesecurity.net.
Got it. We got it now. Yep. We're in.
And yeah, you can see they're red.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it, and then there's a couple other things. In fact, even we probably need to update because we've already made the top mount, the head of our camera even better. It's kind of like a helmet look now. I'll see if I can find a photo, but it's kind of like a Spartan helmet. And it better protects all of the components. And so it allowed us to, instead of having this cabinet here, it's all nicely integrated into a nice Sparta looking helmet. But the biggest thing here is there's no blind spots at all. We have unobstructed views, full 360, and with the PTZ, again, unobstructed on top. And you can travel down the road with this. We've tested this extensively at extreme speeds. But the trailer itself, it's red. And one thing is it looks really good. I think especially with the black wheels, it really looks sharp.
It does.
But there is a lot of studies, and I did talk about that at Techtober a little bit more in depth, but there are a ton of studies. There's a psychological effect with the color red. And case in point, you look at stop signs. Universally, they're all red. That red it speaks to people, just the color alone. It's a warning. It's obtrusive. It's in your face. You look at even in Hollywood movies, that color red that just really pops, and they use that for certain types of characters because it does touch psychological senses. So with a lot of study and a lot of research, we knew that red was the right color. We do have clients all the time that, hey, can I do the blue? Can I do white? Can I do whatever the color is? And we're not always opposed to that, but it's a product, it's productized. And so we want to build them all really nice and sometimes change it because we powder coat, zinc primer, powder coat everything. As you can see, they're really well built. So we'd like to try to have standards, we don't, and then you also have to look at support. How are you going to support these? And if every trailer out there is different, well, then that can become a challenge, for the client on that aspect. But yeah, red is, I'll tell you guys, case in point, everywhere we drop one of these trailers, if they're in a parking lot or out at a construction site, you want them to be a deterrent. I always revert back to the 5 Ds, the fundamental Ds in security. And that the first one is deter. We want to be able to be a deterrent. It has to deter. We don't want crimes to happen to begin with. We want people to just come by and see that bright red trailer, and it's not a broken window. I use this term a lot. There's a really good book called The Broken Window. It talks about a lot of the crime in New York City. With everybody knows and has heard of the Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and kind of when he came in. And I'm CEPTED, that's crime prevention through environmental design. I'm CEPTED certified, and when I took that course, it's very intriguing. Again, the psychological side of criminal science. A broken window, you don't want, if your buildings are damaged, if there's graffiti, and that the book itself talks a lot about that, as how a lot. The mentality is, hey, look, the small little crimes, those aren't a big deal. Let's focus on the big stuff, the homicides, violent crimes. But the small stuff, broken windows, literally broken windows on a building, graffiti, rundown areas, a trailer that looks bad. I've seen so many of these out there personally that the trailers themselves are vandalized or damaged. Garbage gets stuffed up underneath them because the camera design, you can't even see the trailer itself. So you can't even check on the asset in and of itself to see if it's safe and secure or if it's damaged, if it's a broken window. And so a lot of these actually can contribute to the attraction of crime if they're not properly maintained. And so we know that these are effective. It's trial by error. We know wherever we drop the bright red mobilesecurity.net trailer, not only can we provide effective video surveillance, live and recorded, and deterrent with live talk down, automatic triggered lighting or manual, 120 decibel speaker horn that can be automatically triggered based off of deep learning analytics or manually triggered. But just its very presence, right, is an extremely good deterrent. We put these trailers in places and it halts crime immediately. And so, yeah, there's a lot to be said for that broken window theory and the psychology behind the coloring, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for awesome. Personally, like, I've walked into parking lots of whatever big box store. Sometimes you'll see these, but man, they blend in. They're white. I mean, you can certainly at night you can see the camera, the lights or whatever, but you're there during the day, you may not even know it's there unless you're parked right next to it. So I can definitely understand how that would be a pretty significant and effective deterrent. Yeah, go ahead, Kirill.
Yeah, I actually had a question. Can you tell us a little bit about power and how long will this thing be able to provide video completely isolated in the desert somewhere in a wilderness?
Yeah. No, I'm glad you said that. So, and I should grab some more photos of this just to have, because it's fun to share. It makes the talking points more fun. But we just had a big snowstorm last week. Well, several in Denver, and we have a lot of our trailers out there throughout the city of Denver. Now they get a lot of sun, even in the wintertime. But when you go 3, 4, 5 days of snow, and we do have, so we have the ability to articulate the solar panels. We have an actuator. So you push a button on your mobile phone and I can actuate and raise the solar panels, bring them down. It's really nice if you have high winds like a hurricane. You may not need to roll a truck out to those sites and have to button everything down. You can just do that all remote. Lower the solar panels down, because that could be a wind sail, especially if you're in 95 plus mile an hour or 116 mile an hour winds. You don't want that solar panel up.
100%.
So, and we have a ton of clients that just don't even want to deal with having to raise and aim the solar panels at all anyways. They just don't. It's all about just simplicity, right? And so we've done a lot of things. We've engineered our power draw is sub 80 watts, which is unprecedented and super impressive for how much technology we have on there. And, we can get deep in the weeds on how we've done all of that, but so super efficient on power draw. But more importantly, I think is is what we've seen clients do. Like they don't even want to have to deal with, even though we have an actuator to raise and lower and get the, your degree to get the angle of sun dialed in. A lot of clients just don't. A lot of times the thought is like, hey, I'm going to go drop it off over here for an event and it's going to be here for 3 days. And then, I'm going to go move it somewhere else. We had a client that wanted a trailer in a certain spot for 2 months, and it was there for over a year because it was so effective, right? They loved it. And then they finally moved it to a different location. So a lot of times our solar arrays stay flat, and that's not best practice. You would want to raise it, based on the area. And we have a calculator and a tool to help with that, but they usually stay flat in a lot of cases. And I saw just last week, all of these snowstorms in Denver. And, again, because we have the ability to see our trailer because of our unique design, the solar panels, you had, I don't know, several feet of snow on there. And I was like, oh man, and then another storm came and then another storm came. So you're going 5, 6, 7 days with those solar panels aren't getting any sun. And there's so many storms, you're not getting any sun anyways. Sure. And we're fine. We have a built-in 10-day autonomy. And that means we can go 10 days. And that's conservatively speaking, 10 days with no sun at all. And we're good to go. No problem. It's self-healing. So even if we went past that and the trailer completely died, when the sun finally does come out, our trailers are self-healing. So they'll start to trickle charge and reboot back up and charge back up, which is really nice. We also use bifacial solar, so we can get a charge off of both sides. And that's really effective in the wintertime. I live in Salt Lake City. We get a ton of snow. And so and then days are short, of course. So when you only get a little bit of sun, instead of having this massive array of solar panels that can be a broken window. And again, they can get hit, that's a lot more glass that can be damaged or vandalized. It's a lot more difficult to set up. They don't travel or transport as easily. It's a bigger wind. So there's just a lot of variables. So we worked really hard to engineer these to be effective and simple. So we can get a lot of reflection off of asphalt or even snow and hit both sides. And so we have much more efficient solar panels. Look, we're not looking to build the cheapest solution. What we've sought out to do is build the best solution for the money, right? That's quality, that's going to last. We're an integrator. We're a services company. We know how much it costs to roll a truck out and to have to fix stuff all the time. We always seek out the best products and the best solutions that are out there because it pays dividends to do it right the first time.
Yeah, for sure. I had a business question. So I noticed that you have certain customers that need them for 2-3 months at a time, 2-3 days at a time. So is your are you guys thinking to be able to either sell a trailer to a customer and have it like a CapEx expenditure where they just buy the trailer, or are you thinking maybe a potential OpEx business there as well, where I need to rent it out for X amount of time, but the trailer really doesn't belong to me; it belongs to mobilesecurity.net, and then I rent it out for a certain amount of weeks at a time, or kind of like a mobile trailer as a service type of an offering.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So we do all three. That's the quick answer. Because everybody's different. And we sought out initially to, say, hey, look, it's a product, it's a solution that you can then purchase and you own it. And what we found is the upfront cost to CapEx it, it's a capital expense. So you pay the money at one time. Now you own the asset and it's yours. The cost to do that compared to a rental or a subscription-based model, it's pretty close to a 1 year. So if you were to do a subscription model and pay that subscription fee for 1 year, you could have and probably should have just purchased and CapExed and owned your own. But that's not for everybody, because we have a lot of clients that say, like this sample, the scenario of the hurricane, that they're like, I need it for 2 weeks. There's a natural disaster on the way, or we had a natural disaster. And so we need something to get us by, and we haven't budgeted, to do a CapEx expense. So we want to OpEx it. So we offer the OpEx option. And then we've partnered with Wesco on the distribution side. And so Wesco has these that they offer, and they do both ways. They can sell it as a CapEx, but they also have financing options. And the financing option, again, it's pretty dang close to a subscription fee. But again, instead of, when your term is up, let's say it's a 1-year term, now instead of giving it back in the traditional sense, what we see most commonly done in the industry, you actually have something to show for it. You own the asset. So it gives people a lot of options. We also have, through our partner Wesco, they have really good terms with their customers. If you're a systems integrator or an electrical contractor or a general contractor, you're already doing a lot of business with a company like Wesco. So it makes it really simple and easy for you to have, contractually purchase a mobilesecurity.net trailer or several. And you have good terms already set up with them. You're already a customer of theirs. So it makes it really simple. And then, integrators, on the Stone Security side, we're an integrator. And so we do have some that say, well, you're a competitor to us and we don't want to do business with our competitor. Well, mobilesecurity.net is a separate division, separate entity. The integrator side of the house with us, we've been able to develop and build an amazing product because of our experience in the field. But we have integrators that are out there that are looking for a good solution. They're looking for something better than what's available now. And so through Wesco, it's a really clean channel to do business. They can purchase through Wesco just like they would do any other product, and go get it in front of their customers.
Yeah. I mean, if I was looking for a trailer, I'd want to buy that trailer from somebody who's been using trailers before, such as integrators. So somebody who basically found a void in the market and said, listen, we can do this better. So I totally get it. Yeah,
I agree. And what's interesting in the industry right now is there's a lot of buzz, a lot of buzzwords, a lot of talk. Everybody's talking about it. Whether you're a manufacturer, end user, integrator, you're seeing it across the board. Everybody's talking about AI, computer vision, machine learning, deep learning, all those, we hear them, you see them every day. And, when you really, most of the people, when you sit them down and you ask them, like, what's really truly, what's the difference between machine learning and deep learning or computer vision or AI? Most people are like, I don't really know. I'll go to Google and Google it and see. But then you say, well, how does it relate to our industry specifically? And we're in a unique spot in the security industry because cameras are everywhere and there's sensors and there's a ton of metadata that is available. And the days of watching video, watching people after the fact, right, and then trying to put a case together, those days are quickly long gone. I mean, that's old technology. So when you look at modern security, but even more importantly, modern integration, it's a whole different conversation. And, I see a lot of, whether they're trailer manufacturers or camera manufacturers or VMS or access control, you name it, you see a lot of them siloed out talking about, I use the term theatrics. It's theoretical ideas of, hey, look, if we had our trailer, and it would be cool if we could integrate that in with their access control system. So if the mobile security trailer sees somebody with a gun, then we would lock down the doors in the building and trigger strobes, and maybe even turn on a panic alarm or the fire alarm system, right? Then do you evacuate people or do you shelter in place? So integration with their voice over IP or their audio system, so you can tell people where to go in real time, be able to provide direction, but then be able to provide this real-time data to law enforcement or first responders so they can save lives. So a lot of people talk about it, but they make trailers. They're not an integrator. And it's a completely different business. So you need to partner with integrators. So a lot of them will say, okay, well, we're going to partner with integrators when it suits us. So we have reseller integrator partners, but then we also sell direct, or rent our trailers direct to the end user when it suits us. And you can't really have your cake and eat it too. You're either an integrator or you're a manufacturer. But being both is very unique in the industry. And
I agree.
that's where we, on the Stone security side, but then coupled with mobilesecurity.net, is we can provide both services. We are truly an integrator. We integrate systems together. And you guys saw that at Techtober. We in-depth talk about how your video system and your cameras and all your sensors, vape sensors, intrusion sensors, you name it, how they integrate in with your video management system and your access control system. So now you're truly if then this, right? Now that truly is tied together. And now all we're doing is we're taking a mobile security platform and putting that wherever you want, right? And we can do it quickly and efficiently. But that is also integral to your on-prem integrated system. And we can support that and work with our clients on solving problems. And so we don't talk about it in a theoretical manner, like, hey, this would be neat if you could do all this, and someday we'll be there. We actually are doing it right now today. And I think that is a big differentiator. And whether you're an integrator and you're a proverbial competitor to Stone and you're looking for a mobile security solution, wouldn't it be nice to talk to or go do business and partner with a company who's been in your shoes or is in your shoes and understands the complexities and has built a solution ready to go for you? So that's a big value add that we offer. Or if you're an end user, it's the same thing, like, hey, now I have a trailer out there, but what about this? Can I put an access point on there? Can I put a bridge, wireless bridge? Or I want to stream this live. I've got 100 people that want to watch a construction site and I want to stream it live. How can you help me get that to them? Or I want to track airplanes when they land on the tarmac and pull their VIN number or the tail number off and be able to know what plane it is, right? And be able to track, like, we have solutions to be able to do all of these things and help you truly integrate that. And that's the excitement here. And where we are today, like, we're not talking theoretical right now. We're talking about we can do these things now. It's pretty powerful.
It is. I agree.
Well, if you guys are cool, let's transition. And we actually come moderately transition there when you start talking about innovation and some of the things you guys are doing and the integrations. But I don't know where I saw it. It might have been an email or your website or something in terms of I know you guys win a lot of awards, and that's I'm sure you guys are super proud of it, and you guys should be. One caught my eye. We can touch on the one, but one caught my eye recently. I think it was this year, right? Was it an Axis thing?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit? I thought it was really interesting, and how you guys helped come up with the solution for that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris, and that's a good segue. I think we segued naturally into this without even any prior planning, so that's great.
There you go.
This is how a podcast should be.
So
we got an award. Man, we love the awards. First of all, I want to be really clear about that. Sometimes industry awards are looked at like, hey, we did a bunch of business with this manufacturer, this partner, and so that's the least they can do is throw us a bone and say, good job, attaboy. Now we look at it as, we partner with a select few. Our stack, our technology stack is actually really quite small. We only partner with a few best-in-class manufacturers in the security space or IoT space. And because of that, we turned down a lot of business because it's that whole saying, and I'm probably going to draw a blank on it, of course, but master of what's the saying I'm thinking of? Master of none, jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not a jack of all trades. We are specialized in what we do, and we invest heavily in training, certifications, and all of the projects that we do and integrations that we do are going to be with similar technologies. And so our clients aren't guinea pigs. Like whatever we're doing for client A, we've done for client B, C, all the way through Z, right? We've done this. They have the same technology stack, and we are expert from the sales side. So design, engineering, implementation, all the way to the back end support. Our entire team from point A to point B, we are expert. And so when we get an award, we're really proud of those. And the one that we just got was from Axis Communications, and specifically this award for this year that we got was most innovative application for Axis audio. And that's pretty neat because,
That's
audio
awesome.
for Axis is a fairly new endeavor. They're known for their cameras. They invented the IP camera, so that's what they're really best known for. But they have a really robust and unique audio solution. And we talked about integration, right? So if a camera detects people loitering, or if the camera detects more than 5 people in a specific area, now can you send a notification, audible, right? Or visual, or both. Or can you talk down to him right now and let him know, like, there's too many people here, or you've been there too long, so that you don't even have, again, human capital. You don't even have to send somebody out to engage and burden themselves with risk. They're engaging a crowd of, mad, angry people, for example, right? Like, you don't have to go out there. You can talk to them and engage all through technology. So what we did specifically for this, Axis it's really cool how they do it. They look at specific projects, and so there is a specific. We do a ton of audio with the Axis solution, but there was one specific project that our team in Colorado. We have an amazing team in the Denver area, Colorado area, and it's a really neat solution. It's at our department, and I won't tell you who it is exactly, just to keep privacy, but it's a parking garage. And for whatever reason, unfortunately, it's used as an area that commonly has suicides. And so there's precursors. So, when you work with the clients and you really understand your technology stack and what its capabilities are, and then you work really close with your clients, the end user, and you understand, okay, it's not a matter of, I need a camera there. It's more like you get to know each other. You get to know their business. You get to know what challenges they have and face. And now it's not, hey, I'm an order taker. The customer says they need a camera there. Here's a bit, or here's a quote. It's, what are we trying to solve? And so our clients, and that's where we really like to work close with our customers, is we go out on site. All of our salespeople have company vehicles. They're not quota based. They're not commission based. So if the client needs 1 camera or 1,000 cameras, we're not there to try to upsell them on anything. What we work and focus on doing is solving the problem proactively, right? Not trying to figure out what happened after. So anyways, we worked with them. We understood what the issue was and what precursors lead up to the challenge. And there's a few things that every time, and one of them is time in area, how long somebody is in a specific area. Sometimes the term is used as loitering. And Axis has some really great deep learning solutions. And when I say deep learning, the camera is able to, nowadays, we're starting to see effective decision making being done on the ASIC itself, right? In the device, in the camera.
Yep.
So the camera knows, just almost as if it was a person there the whole time, right? Making that decision, like, okay, something isn't right. There's this person is in this parking stall, or they're in this area that's next, we're 12 floors up, and they're right over here on the edge where we've commonly had issues. So we can do virtual fencing, couple it with time and area, how long are they there, couple it with the time of day or time of night. And then we did integration with speakers, audio, and visual and lighting, and notification to the first responders or on-site folks. So we can do a couple things. We can do a nice deterrent that we let them know that we know they're there. We also let the end user folks know that, hey, you should probably go get somebody out there to go engage, right? And that it's been extremely effective, and it's a really cool use of common off-the-shelf equipment that's available to everybody today. It just takes that customer relationship and the knowledge to know how to integrate these systems together. And in this case, it's all pumped in to Milestone, so you get all your alerting and everything in that Milestone platform. We can do all kinds of different rules with that. You can do facial recognition, which is a little bit of an interesting term to talk to. We don't want to talk too much about that because there's a lot of different legalities in play with facial rec, or even license plate recognition or detection. But there's a ton of things that we can do. There's a lot of talk right now about digital twinning, which can still provide everybody with the privacy that they want and require in a lot of countries and states now, through digital twinning, right? So we can do good detection or look for anomalies, different things like that, or understand how the building or area is used better and solve a lot of problems. It's really fun.
Yeah. That's why I'm so passionate about this space and just the integration business in general, because you really can save lives and prevent disasters, right? And we start thinking about what's critical infrastructure, like what's critical infrastructure for IT, for example. And for them, that's, your switches, your routers, your firewalls. But for integrators, it's cameras, it's these sensors, and if they're out, man, it could be problematic. So
yeah, you're right, Kirill. If you look at it now, a camera. I mean, years ago I did a lot of fire alarm and some fire suppression work, and that's code driven. You have to have it because it's life saving equipment, or technology. But I found too with that is innovation wasn't anywhere near where it is in the video and access control space. And so I've always been more intrigued by that side, like the security side, because it's a lot more innovative. And I think it's because it's not mandatory that you have it. So manufacturers have to innovate a lot more in order to, try to win business. You have to be able to be more innovative. Fire alarm, like you have to buy it. So it is, and there's more red tape, right? When you come out with the new technology, it has to go through a lot, NFPA, there's a lot more that has to be done when it's life-saving technology. But nowadays, the way we're able to leverage a camera sensor, right, and the metadata and the proactive alerting and the deep learning that's in there, that's edge-based now, a lot of it, it's a critical component to your overall security posturing or safety or risk posturing. And so, we're starting to see a lot more of that now. The need and demand to monitor and manage the uptime, and because heaven forbid you have an incident and you go to pull a video and it's not there, or you start to rely on these sensors to be proactive, to save lives, and it's down, and then you find out about it after a life was lost, right? And it's like, why didn't we figure out a way to proactively monitor the health of those we would have saved lives? So more and more, that's a big demand that we're starting to see. It's certainly top of list conversation we're starting to have with our clients. It's a small price to pay to ensure that the uptime is there. And it allows us on the integration side as a service provider, it enables us to be a lot more proactive and efficient at the service side. I mean, we can get notification that a piece of the stack is down before the customer even knows about it. And that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, we're very excited to work with you guys. And like I said, you guys are doing some amazing things. So kudos to you. And we're love seeing what you're doing, guys, on the mobilesecurity.net front. So if anybody wants to check out mobilesecurity.net, take a look. And if anybody has any questions, reach out to our partners at Stone Security. For sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, Rob, I think that's it for today. But man, we really appreciate it. You've been a great guest. We're excited to get this out so people can learn more about just a kind of a snippet of some of the cool things you guys are doing, right? I know there's hundreds of other things and projects and innovation type things that you guys are working on, but really appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks. Always a pleasure to chat with you guys. Appreciate the opportunity to be on here today.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. That's another episode of the IoT Pulse Podcast.